Well, two giant tech companies right now, they are preparing to send thousands of new satellites out into space. And the goal here is to make it easier for people all over the world to get high-speed internet.
But this new space race is also threatening a $250 million Arizona industry and your view of the night sky. Here's our chief investigative reporter, Morgan Lowe.
We are driving across the Arizona desert to take part in one of my favorite hobbies. Taking photographs of the night sky with its millions and millions of stars. We picked a spot in the shadow of the Fred Lawrence Whipple Observatory. The telescope is located at the top of Mount Hopkins, and it's one of Arizona's 31 observatories. The last of the sun sets across the Santa Cruz Valley, and it's time for the show to begin. I'm going to set the exposure on my camera for 30 seconds and then click away. It's a spectacular night, but it might not look like this much longer.
Lift off.
SpaceX and Amazon are set to launch as many as 15,000 small satellites into orbit. They will help expand high-speed internet around the world, but astronomers worry what they will do to their views of the stars. This is what a trail of SpaceX satellites looked like last year, streaking across the night sky shortly after they were launched.
Satellites leave, they're bright, and I think this is what surprised everybody, even SpaceX.
Jeff Hall is the director of the Lowell Observatory and the chair of the American Astronomical Society's Committee on Light Pollution. He says right now there are only about 200 satellites that are visible from Earth. This new space race is going to change that.
Where the potential for real impact on the night sky comes in is if you have multiple operators launching, say, constellations of 20, 30,000 satellites. And SpaceX and other companies have filed with the FCC to be able to launch that many.
The optics industry and the astronomy business have a direct impact of $252 million on Arizona's economy. But more than that, astronomers say these industries give the state a prestigious place in the world of science.
Arizona is absolutely one of the astronomy capitals of the world.
But the changing night sky could harm the way astronomers use our state. This is what satellites look like to a telescope. And this is what they look like to ordinary hobby photographers like me.
And the sky is part of our world. It's a scientific and cultural resource that's been there for millions of years, and we'd like to preserve it.
Jeff Hall and other astronomers have met with some of these tech companies, and they're hopeful they'll find a solution to this impending crisis. For example, SpaceX has agreed to add a coating to its satellites to make them less reflective in orbit. I'm Morgan Lowe for Arizona's Family.